Hi, this is Allie Schilling from AllieStamps.com, and today I wanted to share with you a tutorial on how I made the background for this butterfly card. I'm coloring it the blended crayon background technique, and this technique is a part of the technique class lineup from February. This is a class that you can either come take in person if you live in the Rochester, New York area, or if you don't, or if you do and you just can't make it, you can take this class on the go in the comfort of your own home via PDF files and on-the-go class kits. So this is the first card in the lineup for February. This is the second card. And this is a real gorgeous technique with a window sheet, re-inker, crystal effects, some creped paper in the background there. I'm trying to get you as good of a look at that as I can. You can check out the photos on my blog as well for an up close. It's a nice rich masculine card. And then we also have the herringbone technique. So those are the three classes that are in store for February. And then we don't just make the cards at Technique class, we also do the resource pages. So the resource pages are a 3x3 tile, a smaller the same technique on a smaller scale, and it's adhered to a piece of cardstock that has the the name of the technique and the step-by-step instructions for that technique. And you can slip these resource pages in a clear envelope, and these envelopes are included with class kits. And then that way you have all of these techniques available to you as a resource for future use. So you can punch a hole in these and collect them on a binder, and you'll receive a binder ring and cover page of the first class or kit that you purchase. And then over time you just collect all of these wonderful techniques. And you've got them, so whenever you're in the need for some creativity and sit down to make a card, you can thumb through these and pull from what you've learned. Alright, so the star of our show is the swallowtail card, and I'm going to show you a tutorial on how to make that background. This is the swallowtail stamp. It's a large background stamp. It does come in clear. And he's just gorgeous. You're going to love working with him. It's probably one of my favorite images in the spring catalog right now. Alright, so I will put this off to the side, and then we'll show you the technique. So I'm going to show you the technique on a smaller scale just for the sake of time. So this is just a 3x3 piece of cardstock. It's what you would put on your resource page. And for this technique, all you need is a set of watercolor Wonder crayons. I use the Soft Subtles and an aqua painter. And if you have two sets of aqua painters, I would recommend using your more junky one for this technique rather than the one that you really want to. So you're just going to start with the lightest color. I use So Saffron. And you're going to go through and you're just going to scribble splotches of the color onto the cardstock. And what you're kind of doing, if I don't know if you remember those kids watercoloring books, I think they still make them, where the palettes come at the bottom of their sheet, and all they have to do is go through with a paintbrush, and they pick up the color from the bottom of that palette and color in their coloring page with it. It's kind of that same technique. They're the same idea, kind of creating a technique out of that concept. Is you're just creating these palettes along the cardstock of color. And they don't have to be, I'm making them pretty circular. They don't have to be. They can be choppy. So the colors I've used so far are So Saffron, Wild Wasabi, and now I'm on to Baja Breeze. And you want to use the most of these colors because they're your lighter colors. There's Rose Red as the final color, but you want to use the rose red pretty sparingly because it's a very potent color, and a little bit goes a long ways. Alright, so then you're going to take your aqua painter. I'm going to put the watercolor Wonder crayons aside. You're going to go through with your aqua painter, and you're going to start with the lightest color. So that's going to be the saffron. And you're just going to, with your aqua painter, blend that saffron color. like that. And then you're going to just wipe off the brush on your scrap paper and go into the next one, and I'm going to do the blue next. The first one I kind of stuck to its area a little bit more, but as you go into the other colors you can start kind of blending it out on the paper a little bit more, so that's filling in the space. And if you pick up some of the other colors, don't worry about it too much. Then I'm going to go through with the painter for the green. And this really doesn't look like much at all at this stage. It's just a background, and it's that stamped image that's really going to make it stand out. And the last thing that I'm going to go through is that rose red. And the rose red you're going to use a bit more sparingly. You can hear my dog barking in the background, I apologize. It's my assistant's work day, I think she's here. Okay, so you've got your smudges. And then all you're going to do with that background is allow this to dry thoroughly, and you don't want to have any moisture on it at all. And then you're going to come through and stamp. You'll use your embossing buddy to give a nice, give it a good run over. It'll get out all the excess moisture before you stamp your image on it. So I've stamped, you can see both the resource page and the main card itself. You're going to stamp that image in Versamark and then emboss with black embossing powder for that swallowtail. So you can see the full lineup here. These are the 3 resource pages, and then we have the 3 cards. And these are all part of the lineup for the February technique class. You can go to my website at allistamps.com and you can order the kits to purchase to make these cards at home. There's also a kit option for just the resource pages if you don't want the cards but you want to be collecting the resource sheets. And if you live in the Rochester area, I hope to see you at class in person. And again, that address is allistamps.com. Thanks and have a great day.